Hello everyone, Ryan here. Dystopia by Megadeth is a pretty cool metal album. Definitely, it's definitely the kind of album that I expect from a thrash metal band. And I guess for some people, they might consider that either a good thing or a bad thing. Me, I just consider it a thrash metal thing. Which for the most part, I guess I do consider good. So now this album was released sometime in 2016. And, well, I'll just go ahead and give the track listing here. And then, as usual, talk about some of my favorites. So, first track is titled The Threat is Real. Second track is Dystopia. Third is Fatal Illusion. Fourth, Death from Within. And then Bullet to the Brain, Post-American World, Poisonous Shadows, Conquer or Die, Lying in State, The Emperor, and the last track is titled Foreign Policy. So, as you can see, there's a bit of a theme going on with this album. I guess you could say it's mostly political. It's also supposed to be, obviously based on the title, Dystopia. I guess also dystopian, or at least somewhat dystopian. As far as my favorites go, I do like the title track, Dystopia. That's mostly because I like the guitar riffs, the guitar solo. That's one thing I will say. I like all of the guitar solos on this album. It's well, I've never been a big fan of Megadeth to begin with. Obviously, my favorite band is Metallica, and I know throughout the years, Metallica fans and Megadeth fans, for the most part, always seem to butt heads. And but me, for me, I will say that there are some Megadeth songs that I believe are on the same level as like the most popular Metallica songs. But for the most part, well, when it comes to albums like this, Dystopia, the technical aspect of it is definitely awesome, definitely great. But there's really not a whole lot of hook to it. Like, there's not a whole lot of catchy, melodic stuff on this album. There is some melody. I'm not going to say that it's completely devoid of any melody, because there is a decent, a small amount of melody. But for me, that's what I expect. It's from thrash metal, from any thrash metal band. Usually, either they incorporate a lot of melody, or either they kind of like just tend to fall back on the typical fast-paced kind of thrash metal stuff, which I like anyways, but I know not everybody does. So I do like the title track, Dystopia. I also like the song Bullet to the Brain, Post-American World, The Emperor, Poisonous Shadows. And that's pretty much it. Those are my favorites off this album. I like that, as far as the lyrics are concerned, I like that some of them, like in the song Post-American World, Dave Mustaine, it's kind of like he poses a question to people, to try to imagine what he poses to, I guess, the listener, essentially, to try to imagine what the world would be like without America, without the United States. And though he doesn't really, in the song itself, as far as the lyrics are concerned, he doesn't really say that he believes it would suck, or that it would be better, or it's kind of like more like he, I guess, more like he leaves it open to interpretation. At least that's how I feel in the song. I don't know how, aside from Megadeth, aside from, Dave Mustaine's band or creative stuff that he does, I don't know how he actually personally feels, but I just feel like in this song, Post-American World, he's just posing the question and then, pretty much leaving it open to interpretation, whether or not that means that you believe that the world would suck without America or the world would be better off without America. It's completely open to your own perspective. So, yeah, I guess I like that song most because it got me thinking a lot. And then the song The Emperor, I also like the guitarist in that, the guitar solo. The lyrics for The Emperor definitely remind me of, there's that story about the Emperor's new clothes, and actually I gotta read that story again. And from what I remember, it's about like some emperor who gets tricked into buying what he believes is like an invisible silk suit or robes of some kind, and he gets tricked by some merchant. When in reality, it's not an invisible suit, or so he ends up like going out and addressing his court or kingdom, or going out in public, walking around completely naked, and everyone is afraid to tell him that he's naked, and because he has so much control over them. So, and pretty much like they're afraid to tell him because they don't want to get tortured or beheaded or. So this song, The Emperor, that's what it reminds me of. I'm pretty sure, I feel like that's where Dave Mustaine got the idea for this song, as far as the lyrics are concerned. But yeah, I mean, another thing too, I would say on this album, I feel like on this album, it's like filled with so many awesomely insane guitar solos. I mean, granted, I've always felt like Dave Mustaine is an awesome guitar player. I would say he's definitely one of my favorite lead guitar players. Not one of my, like absolute, like, I mean, I'll put him up there in like my top 20 or something. But on this album, it seemed like, because there were like some moments where during some of the songs where, it's just Dave Mustaine like completely going nuts on the fretboard and, employing all the scales, going up and down, and, which is awesome, definitely. But yeah, I don't know. For me, it seems like, I mean, compared to other Megadeth albums, I feel like this one is a one that is more guitar solo heavy, which to me is a good thing. But I know that if there's other people listen to this album and they're not familiar with Megadeth at all or very little, they might feel a little overwhelmed by all of these awesome guitar solos, or but I don't know. I mean, it's just a theory I have. As far as anything else concerning, I mean, I like the drums, the bass, all the guitar riffs, the lyrics. I like that the lyrics again are political, but also I would say not too political. Like pretty much just political enough that it gets you thinking about certain things. So I like that. I like those kinds of songs. So yeah, and then also I know that there's another guitar player. I mean, because obviously Dave Mustaine does have a rhythm guy backing him up, and I think there's a couple of songs where the rhythm guy also plays a couple of guitar solos as well. So for me, I'm pretty much able to distinguish between Dave Mustaine's guitar solos and the second guitar player's guitar solos. But either way, again, the guitar solos are awesome. I mean, the lineup on this album is, of course, Dave Mustaine, vocals and guitars, then Kiko Loureiro, not sure how to pronounce his last name. That's the second guitar player. David Ellefson, he's the bassist. And then Chris Adler plays drums. I believe Chris Adler might also be the drummer for another band. I want to say Lamb of God. His name is so familiar, and then he looks familiar too. I'm looking at the picture in the booklet here, and I believe so. But Lamb of God is another band that I got to start listening to more of too. I definitely like to review their albums too. So, but overall, as far as this album is concerned, as far as the rating goes, I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 stars. Yeah, I think that's mostly because like I would have given it 5 stars if at least a couple of the songs had like really catchy chorus part to it. I mean, to me, I feel like none of these songs really have a very catchy chorus to them. They have very catchy guitar riffs, and like I said, very awesome guitar solos. A lot of, awesome instrumental stuff. But as far as the vocals go, I mean, nothing really stood out to me that much. So, but yeah, that's just how I feel. Maybe it's because of all the years that I've listened to, Metallica and other bands like them that have, at least a couple songs on every album that have really catchy choruses. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, I give it 4 out of 5 stars. So that'll do it for my review of Dystopia by Megadeth. Thanks for listening to this. Thanks for watching. As always, till next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.